Welcome back to episode 189 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast. My name is Josh. I'm here with Troy. Hey, Troy, how's it going, man?
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Oh, yeah, we'll get into that. Don't you worry about that. I got to admit, Troy, I'm coming into the game here injured.
Uh-oh.
We just had dinner like 20 minutes ago. I sustained a mouth pizza injury. I burnt my mouth. My lip is swelling.
Uh-oh.
I may have to go on long-term IR. We might want to. Do you want to pause the show now to start the GoFundMe?
GoFundMe for your boo-boo. I haven't bit my lip bad enough, but I have burned my top of my mouth on a pizza that was too hot. That sucks.
Pizza injuries are the worst, dude. But, like Mark Stone, I'll be back.
Yeah, you'll be back.
I'll be back. Well, a lot going on in the NHL world. We had a big Game 7 the other night between Edmonton and Vancouver.
Yep.
For the hobby, Connor McDavid makes it to the next round, so I suppose that's good.
They tried not to. They went into I got a text from my friend Neil. He's like, I think they're doing the prevent defense in football, where they're not trying to win. They're preventing you from winning, right?
I think Vancouver's a little bit of a comeback squad, though, that they've proven throughout the year. But yeah, Edmonton dominated the first two periods.
Yeah.
And probably a little bit into the third, too. So, and then tonight, Eastern Conference Final starts. Yep. Florida and New York Rangers. Who do you got? Make your prediction. Stake your hobby reputation.
I'm going Rangers because I want Laffy just to shove it in our face that he won a cup.
I like the hobby heel, Matty Tkachuk, so I'm going to go with Tkachuk. But okay, we've been beating around the bush too long. We got to talk about our own Where in the World is Carmen Santiago?
Oh, yeah.
And Troy, it's been a while, but it looks like you're all set for another Troy hobby adventure. So tell us, what do you have planned?
I am going to try to go to the Sports Card Expo in Montreal that is scheduled for Friday through Sunday. So I'm going to try to go Friday and go to the show.
If you come back fluid in French, I will be very angry.
I've been practicing. All I need to know is bonjour, merci, and then parlez-vous anglais. That's all I need. Parlez-vous anglais. They say oui or yes. Then we talk English. If not, I sulk and go away.
What about baguette? From what was that from? Flight of the Conchords, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you nervous though about?
Nope.
You think
I read online. Everyone said it's easy to function in Quebec. As long as you try and say bonjour or merci or mercy. Is it mercy? Mercy. They're pretty
You're already doing great, bud.
Yeah, they're pretty happy with you for just trying.
Well, you have a huge advantage too, because if somebody starts to get a little crabby at you that you're not speaking the native tongue, you just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Troy from the Gong Show."
Yeah, no.
And go, okay, we get it. We get it now. So, are you gonna bring fat stacks of cash, or what are you looking to? What's your hobby goals here at the card show?
I just want to see something else that's out there besides Toronto that's in Canada. So I figured Montreal would be as good a spot as ever. Plus, I'm hoping there's vendors that were there that weren't at Toronto that maybe I can, and they have those boxes of cards that I can sit there and dig through for most of the show. Because I'm only there Friday. So
in and out.
5 hours is the 3 to 8, I think, is how long it's open.
Maybe get a nice Maurice or Henri Richard or Jean Beliveau, Doug Harvey.
Look for a Patrick Waugh.
Patrick Waugh, Chris Chelios. Should we just sit here and name for the rest of the show every Canadian player we can think of?
Bobby Smith. Bobby Smith.
What if, because it is the off season for them.
Yeah.
What if you meet up with Nick Suzuki and he teaches you French?
Teaches me some French.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Hold on. There are guests. See, I don't think he's one of them, but I'm going to look real quick.
Are there current players going?
I don't know if there's current players. I want to say Mike Richter was on the list, but now as I need to do it as fast, I can't find it. So,
okay.
Oh, hold on. Here we go.
Well, we're going to expect a full wrap up on Monday's show about your adventure, assuming you go. But
assuming I go.
You're 90%. Is that fair to say?
I think so. I think we should be good. This is crazy. When I looked, here we go. I found it. A couple guys I can't pronounce. Oh my gosh, Denny Lemieux. Is that his name from Slapshot, the goalie? He's gonna be there. Is it Yvonne? It's
Jan Cornier there, right?
Jan Cornier and then Jan Barrett, I think it is. Eric Gagne, Dodgers pitcher.
Yeah.
Pierre LaRouche, Alexei Kovalev, Mike Richter is there, and Craig Ludwig is who we got.
Oh, cool.
And then some Expo guys, Montreal Expo guys, the baseball team.
Did Jeremy Lee hit you up to do a panel? He told me he was going to do that.
No, we better not. Probably a French-speaking panel. I'll have to come.
Yeah. Would that be like definitionally your worst nightmare in life?
Probably.
Fly to Montreal and you get stuck on like 6 panels all in French.
We got a couple buddies that are going. Our French interpreters will be there to help me if I need it.
And you just say merci and laissez comprendre the whole time. I don't know. All right. Well, we got a good show today. Very excited. Want to watch some hockey and some basketball too. Our Timber Puppies play tonight, so hopefully that works out. Well, it won't because this is Minnesota. But you know, we're at the worst stage of any Minnesota sports fan's life right now. Try hope. That's a scary thing here. But before we get started, just a very quick reminder that the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast is a Patreon podcast, which means that we rely on support from listeners and watchers like yourself to help us cover our show expenses, continue to produce more and hopefully better hockey card content and fun initiatives, even in a small way to grow the hockey hobby. It's very easy to support us. You can do it through Patreon and join on a $1.99 support level tier. You get access to our Discord server. We do some fun stuff like our 5K challenge, which is coming to a close in the next month or so. Yeah. Someone's going to get a box of 2020 The Cup unopened. Can you believe that we haven't opened that it's still sitting here on my shelf? And
we looked at it every time I go to your house. I look at it sitting there taunting me.
Now, be honest. Did you trust me that I would not open it?
Oh yeah. I trust you.
Okay.
I don't trust myself.
Yeah. We've never opened a box of the cup and we're giving it away. So that's kind of crazy. So yeah, we try to do stuff like that, and we're going to hopefully do more and bigger stuff as our show continues to grow. It's very easy to support us. You can go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, and click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page. You can go to the Patreon website, patreon.com, and search for Hockey Cards Gong Show. There's a link in the show description if you're listening to us on a podcast app right now. Thank you for listening, or watching us on YouTube, and thank you for watching there. Or finally, in our Instagram and TikTok profile, there's a link there too. All right, dude, you ready with the game plan?
We begin the show with the almost greatest NHL player to wear number 89. This was followed by another playoffs edition of Hobby Deep Dive. Next is Hobby News, followed by a look at our 5 favorite Connor Bedard cards so far. Josh is laughing. I'm rolling my eyes because the minute I went into podcast voice, one of my dogs started barking because they're now riled up because they heard me. So we'll just keep going.
I think your dogs are attracted to your podcast voice. We literally have been talking for 25 minutes and not a peep out of those dogs. And the minute you go into
they come flying in and they're like,
start hollowing.
Anyway. Okay. So, okay, we got our 5, or maybe Josh's 5 favorite, my 5 favorite also, but we'll discuss. Then it's off to new product releases. This is followed by looking at some of our favorite hockey cards in the current PWCC Weekly Auction, and we end the show with any personal pickups. Okay, Josh, now that I'm all riled up from the dogs, because I was just waiting for it, and they delivered, so everyone's happy. We got some fans that love to try to pick out the dog or the dogs.
Yeah, no, we can't take it out anymore. We used to remove it.
It's like an Easter egg. Okay, previously we looked at the greatest NHL player that wore the number that matched our episode number. We ran through all the numbers, so now we are looking at the almost greatest NHL player to wear each number from the runners-up in the Hockey Writers' Greatest NHL Player to Wear Each Number article. Josh, the almost greatest NHL player to wear number 89 per the nominees in the Hockey Writers' Greatest NHL Player to Wear Each Number article, and selected by me, is Sam Gagner. Here he is. Very happy that he's on this list. There were no other runners-up, Josh, at number 89.
Made your choice easy.
Yeah, very easy. Not like last week. As a reminder, the greatest to wear number 89 was Alexander Mogilny, who also is like the greatest player that should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And Lanny McDonald's number 1 enemy, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, before we get into our boy Sam here.
Yeah.
We got to talk about last week.
Oh, what happened? Oh, yeah.
Very, very controversial, Troy. You picking Andrei Vasilevsky. I mean, you heard about it. The hobby's spoken, and they do not agree.
No, they don't agree.
Yeah, that's all right though. That makes me proud of you for standing up to your convictions and not.
What, that I wanted to do a goalie? That was basically my only requirement. I wanted you to be.
You got a little bit of a Lindros thing. You got to admit that you just don't like him. That's okay.
I'm mad he didn't want to play in Quebec there.
Yeah, now that you're all in tight with the Francophones, is that what they're called?
Francophones, I think I'm getting a citizenship when I go up there, or a key to the city or something. I don't know.
Is like the Queen of Quebec gonna
Queen of Quebec
knight you or something like that?
They have a king now. It's King Charles, right? They still technically are under. They I mean, it has no power, but I'm sure
you're gonna get a ride on a pony from the. What is it? The RMCP, RCMP, the Royal
Mounted Canadian Police. There you go.
No, I think it's Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Royal Canadian Mounted Police. No, because I'm afraid those horses will kick me.
Are they going to give you like a horsey escort from the airport into the?
Doubt it, because it's going to be late at night.
All right, well, back to the mission at hand.
All right,
sorry.
Back to our boy Sam Gagner, center Josh from London, Ontario, Canada. Gagner was selected 6th overall in the 2007 NHL entry draft by the Edmonton Oilers. Gagner has played in 1,043 regular season NHL games over a current 17-season NHL career. Josh, I found an article that referred to Sam Gagner as the NHL's current cockroach, as his career will just not die.
Every kid's dream is to grow up and play in the NHL and be known as the cockroach.
The cockroach. And I don't know if it was a really weird article. It was like, I don't know if they're praising him or they're ripping on him. But anyways, that was kind of funny. Okay. Gagner, Josh, is what I like to call a journeyman, not a cockroach. I call him a journeyman.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna stay with me as I go over the teams he has played for. So Gagner began his career with 7 seasons with the Oilers. Okay, we got pretty good stability there. Then he played a season with the Arizona Coyotes.
R.I.P. Yotes.
Yep. Now the Utah Yetis, but we'll see. Then followed this with a season with the Philadelphia Flyers. Then he played 1 season with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Then he played a little over 1 season with the Vancouver Canucks. Then he has back to some stability. He had 3 seasons with the Detroit Red Wings. Here he is. Then it was 1 season with Winnipeg. And finally, this season, back to Edmonton. And actually, I screwed up. After Vancouver, he played for Edmonton again. So this is his 3rd stint with Edmonton. So here he is. Here he is back at Edmonton. I'm going to put that picture up. But anyways, so if you lost track of all that.
Because you just showed a lot of pictures on YouTube. It's proven to me that 89, which I think is kind of a cool number, is not popular in the NHL because he literally got this number on all 45,000 teams he's played for.
I think Arizona, he did not. I think he was 9. Yeah, there it is. He's 9 on Arizona. He only played there 1 year, so it doesn't even matter. But anyways, if you lost track of all that gibbering, I obviously lost track because I forgot to say he played for Edmonton a second time. Gagner currently sits at 7 teams played for in 17 seasons. So congrats to him for that. For his awards and accomplishments, not a whole lot. He did participate in the NHL Young Stars game in 2008. And he was also the NHL Rookie of the Month in February 2008. This guy's played for so long and had so many games, I had to find something for him.
Yeah. So he's got something on the mantle. Rookie of the Month. You must get like a plaque or a...
Oh, sure. Bonus check.
Gift card or something like that. Like maybe like a... I don't know, like a Applebee's gift card or something like that from the NHL.
Chili's.
$20 at Applebee's. Here's Rookie of the Month.
Yeah, you get something. Okay, first career, 197 goals, 332 assists for 529 points. Gagner has made the playoffs, and I literally had to check this a billion times, in only 2 of his 17 NHL seasons.
Wow.
However, that is more than Jeff Skinner, who has never made the playoffs in any of his 14 NHL seasons, and who Jeremy Roenick thinks is a cancer in the locker room, I think. Right? It was really? Roenick that... Oh, yeah, I think it was Roenick that went off on Jeff Skinner. Maybe I was wrong, but...
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I remember. Okay, Josh. Best regular season of our boy's career here, Sam Gagner. From a point standpoint, was his 2016-17 season, where Gagne had 18 goals, 32 assists for 50 points in 81 games played with the Columbus Blue Jackets. So, Josh,
that's a nice sweater, Troy.
Yeah, I love that with the cannon.
Mm-hmm.
That's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
So, our boy, Sam Gagne, for being a 6th overall draft pick, I don't know what you say. His career has been a little disappointing from a points perspective. Now, he did manage to score between 13 and 18 goals and 41 to 49 points in each of his first 5 seasons with the Oilers. However, I don't know. You can't really argue with 17 seasons in the NHL and over 1,000 games played. In addition, this is a guy who's battled and worked for every roster spot he has got. And if you go back and look at his career, he has spent parts of 4 seasons since 2015 with stints in the AHL. He has also battled about every injury known to man and has missed 113 games due to various ailments, including ankle injury, back injury, multiple concussions, knee injury, hand injury, jaw injury, COVID, double hip surgery, along with everyone's favorite, the undisclosed injury. So I'm pretty sure he's had every injury known to man, and he's still playing. And
if the NHL came out with like an Operation Game NHL edition, he might be like a guy playing on the.
No kidding. So Josh, Gagne is still playing. He did play 28 games for the Oilers this year, where he had 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points. That ain't too shabby. I mean, it's like 0.3 points a game. However, on March 5th of this year, he was placed on waivers and then reassigned to the AHL's Bakersfield Condors.
Veteran leadership.
So we'll see if his career is at an end or if he will keep playing or what. But it's pretty amazing how long this guy's going. And I still find it funny that they called him the NHL's cockroach. That's hilarious. Whatever that
it's got to be. Well, it's interesting that a guy that's played 18 years would go back to the AHL at this point. You would think that 95% of NHLers that it's a lot different lifestyle. It's a lot better in the show, right? And to be reassigned, it might, I think for most people, be the catalyst to say, I'm going to hang up the skates.
Yeah, but I wonder if they get a little special treatment there. I was looking because, yes, he did. It was in my head. I remember Chris Chelios played in the AHL at the end of his career. And like his last couple seasons. And it's just like, he's a guy that just loved hockey and couldn't just didn't want to retire. So maybe it's the same thing here. All right. Fun, interesting facts. Nicknames: Sammy, Great, and Gags, which is kind of fun. Gagne has done something, Josh, that no other player in the 21st century has done in the NHL. That accomplishment is scoring 8 points in one game. He scored 4 goals and had 4 assists in the Oilers' victory against Chicago on February 2nd, 2012. The last player to score 8 points in a game was Mario Lemieux on December 31st, 1988.
You know who never scored 8 points in a game for the Oilers?
Connor Bedard.
I'm just saying. Saying, Troy. I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
And it even gets nuttier than that stat. This is a crazy one, so I love this. Gagne also became the second player in NHL history, the other one being Lemieux, with 8 points in a game when his team scored exactly 8 goals. So he was involved in the scoring on every single goal. I love that.
You know the craziest part, though, even crazier about that? He was named only second star of the night. Did you know that?
Was he? No.
Yeah. No, really? They named McDavid, who was like 7 at the time, but they said he was only scored 8 goal, had 8 points because McDavid. Yeah. And so McDavid.
Well, I'm like, I was like, crisis of confidence. I'm like, 2012, McDavid was like 2015, right? I'm like,
I sold that joke, didn't I?
You got me.
I sold it. I got you.
As the NHL's youngest player in 2007-08, Gagne tallied 49 points in 79 games, playing between wingers and fellow rookies Andrew Cogliano and Robert Nielsen on a combination dubbed the Kid Line. I think we've had 57 different Kid Lines.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever worked out, has it?
There's always some Kid Line. All right, finally, and I threw the stat in just because we're Minnesota.
One of us, Troy.
One of us. Sam Gagne is the son of former NHLer Dave Gagne, who played 15 seasons in the NHL, with 9 of those being for the Minnesota North Stars / team we shall not name, that's in Texas. Okay.
That's 17 years for the Gagne family. That's not any bad. No, wait. 32.
Way more than
32 years. Yeah.
33, right? 32. Yep, 32. 17 plus 15. It's not a math show.
Almost had to break out the supercomputer there. That was a lot of math.
We got it. We got there. Okay. His rookie card right here, Josh. I mean, I hate when Chrome zooms out. 2007, Upper Deck number 218, Young Guns, Josh. PSA 10 pop is 7. Gem rate of 41%. Last sale of a PSA 10 graded copy I could find was way back in 2012 for $16.50 US. I did find a KSA 10 copy that sold for $29.13 US on April 20th of this year via eBay and verified in Terapeak. I did look at his BGS 9.5, which has a way higher pop at 54 with a gem rate of 51%. Last sale of his Young Guns BGS 9.5 was on March 14th of this year for $16.95 US via eBay, verified in Terapeak. There you go. Believe it.
I'm really impressed every time you do a greatest player. I'm also very impressed with your own vocal rendition of the Gongshow supercomputer. That was pretty cool.
You don't even have to add the sound effect. It's just
like a beatboxer, Troy. You may never plug in the button bar. Who knows?
It's plugged in. Just nothing on it.
Yeah. All right. Back for another playoffs edition of Hobby Deep Dive. There's 4 teams left, Troy. I don't know if you knew that.
Yep.
I tried to pick a player from each of the remaining teams, but there's one giant caveat in that plan. So we, as kind of the process of putting the show together, we do our polls on Monday morning. Now, as you'll recall, Monday evening was Game 7 between Edmonton and Vancouver, so that put me in a little bit of a pickle because I wanted to pick one of the remaining players. So I took a chance. Sorry, Nucks fans. And I picked an Oilers player. And it turns out my hunch was right. But before we get into the candidates, like we always do, let's do a quick look at the NHL vets that we've done a deep dive on already so far in this little series. Last one was Wyatt Johnston. Then we did Swayman, Pasta, Zach Hyman, Quinn Hughes, Draisaitl, McCarr, McKinnon, and Pettersson. You can go check out all those episodes. So this week we had 4 candidates, 1 from each remaining team. Put up an Instagram poll, let you guys vote who the Hobby Deep Dive player should be. Those candidates, Troy, were sticking with the Oilers, Evan Bouchard.
Nice.
Miro Heiskanen from the Dallas Stolen Stars. Matty Tkachuk, and then Artemi Panarin. I'm just going to leave Tkachuk and Panarin on this forever. One of them makes it. But oh my gosh, Troy, this was the closest vote on any poll we've ever done.
There it is.
Literally one vote separated 3 of the 4 players.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Evan Bouchard takes it. 27% of the vote, followed by 26 for Matty Tkachuk and Artemi Panarin, and then Miro Heiskanen trailing at 21%. So, of course, that makes this week's Hobby Deep Dive, and maybe you could call him a breakout defenseman, Troy, Evan Bouchard from your Edmonton Oilers. He's 24 years old, Canadian.
Yep.
Originally from Oakville, Ontario, which I looked at a map. I would call it like a southern suburb of Toronto. We'll say maybe part of like the greater metropolitan area. I know people might say it isn't, but that's what it looked like to me on the map anyways. Pretty big dude, Troy. 6'3", 195 pounds.
Yeah.
Played youth hockey in Oakville. Then was taken 17th overall by the London Knights, Troy, one of your favorite teams, in the 2015 OHL Priority Selection Draft. So his first season with the Knights, he helped them win the J. Ross Robertson Cup. It reminds me like the J. Peterman from Seinfeld, which you get for winning the OHL playoffs and then to a Memorial Cup win.
Nice.
So what a nice run there, or start in the OHL. That season, he had 2 goals, 15 assists for 17 points and 43 games played. If you're watching on YouTube, maybe it's the facial hair with Bouchard that makes him look 35 while he's making his OHL debut. But when we typically show pictures of these guys, like, you know, they're like 15 years old, 16. They look like babies. He looks like he's old, doesn't he? Is it just me? You're on mute, Troy.
Oh, whoops. Dogs are barking again. Yeah, he does look old. He doesn't look that old, but he looks older than whatever he was in this picture. 18, 17, somewhere in there.
Looks like one of those guys who shaves at like 8 a.m. and has a full beard by before lunch. basically. Well, he would end up playing in the OHL for 4 seasons. His third year, though, Troy, was the monster. That was 2017-18. 25 goals, 62 assists for 87 points in 67 games played. Also a plus 23. Pretty good for a defenseman. Good timing on his part, because as he was eligible for the 2018 NHL entry draft. So here's the scouting consensus on Bouchard as he was entering the draft. He was projected to be a top pairing defenseman with the ability to contribute significantly on both ends of the ice, particularly on the power play. His combination of offensive skills, hockey IQ, and leadership made him a highly sought-after prospect. So highly sought after, Troy, that the Oilers took him in the 2018 draft with the 10th overall pick. There you go. I was trying to figure out who. Do you know who the guy on the far left is? We know Evan Bouchard's the guy in the middle there.
He looks like he's 8. I don't even know if he's supposed to be up there. I don't know who it is.
Like a kid from Finland who was like 11 years old, taken in the 17th round. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. There were 3, Troy, defensemen taken ahead of Bouchard in the 2018 draft. So Rasmus Dahlin, as you remember, was the number 1 overall pick for Buffalo. Then you got Quinn Hughes, who was taken 7th by Vancouver. Then Adam Bovequist, 8th overall. And then finally Bouchard, 10th. So I got a question for you. If you had to re-rank the order of defensemen taken in the draft, knowing what we know now, I'll give you 2 options. I'm assuming like Hughes, Dahlin, Bouchard, Bovequist, or Hughes, Bouchard, Dahlin, then Bovequist, which is basically me saying I would assume Quinn Hughes would go first at this point. And then would you rather have Bouchard or Rasmus Dahlin? Is that a tough question?
That's a good question. I guess I think I'm going to still go with Dahlin. I know Dahlin. He's got to have more points, right? What's Bouchard at? 171. Dahlin I would go with, but Dahlin's also a minus 69. I know that's not the greatest stat. That's interesting but you got to remember, like, good defense when we're always out against the best lines.
Yeah. So Bouchard went to the 2018 training camp with the Oilers, ended up starting the season with the team, playing one of those short, like 7-game stints, making his debut October 25th, 2018 at just 19 years old. Scored a goal in his very first game against the Washington Capitals. Also became the youngest Oilers defenseman ever to score a goal in that game. He would then go back to the London Knights for the 2018-19 season, served as the team captain, and then would start the next year, so this would be 2019-2020, with the Oilers' AHL affiliate Bakersfield Condors. Maybe said hi to Sam Gagner or something like that.
Yeah, no, second time we've mentioned them.
This is the Bakersfield episode, Troy. So in 54 games with the Condors, he scored 7 goals, added 29 assists for 36 points. But then, of course, as with many other young NHL prospects, the pandemic struck and really affected his development. So to gain more playing time and continue his development, Bouchard was loaned to the Södertälje. How did I do?
I think you got it.
SK in the Swedish Hockey Allsvenskan before the start of the 2020-21 NHL season. So playing in Sweden allowed him to maintain conditioning, of course, and then continue his development while the NHL was in hiatus. And then also, you get the valuable experience playing in a different environment as well. And then you get to wear a jersey with 14,000 logos on it too, which is always fun.
Yeah.
He ended up playing 23 games overseas, scored 6 goals, added 11 assists for 27 points. It's not bad, more than a point per game over there. So I think what we're seeing so far with him is he's a pretty good point producer as a defenseman throughout his youth and juniors and then development into a pro player. So then, Troy, starting in 2021-22, when the NHL returned to a full schedule, really his full-time NHL career began. Now he's played 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Just finished his third full regular season with the Oilers, his best season to date. He had 18 goals, 64 assists for 82 points in 81 games played. Again, more than a point per game. Although he's only good because of Connor McDavid, of course, right?
Of course.
Got to give everyone that disclaimer. been a pretty solid defensive defenseman too, with good puck moving skills. Obviously, really good on the power plays. Got a nasty shot. We've seen a lot of that evidence of that in the playoffs. Again, probably learned everything from McDavid. So I've got to give him props for that. He's been a beast in the postseason. 5 goals, 15 assists for 20 points in just 12 games. And Troy, look at his career. He hasn't played a ton of games. Only 46 postseason games in his career.
Man.
No, 40. He's played 40 games. He's got 46 points in 40 games. 12 goals, 34 assists. Prime time performer, PTP. And Bouchard. Still just 24 years old. You'd assume he'd get better over the next few years. Well, if McDavid wants him to, of course.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to look at his hobby market, Troy?
Let's do it.
Do that. Evan Bouchard is a 2018-19 Young Guns. PSA 10, pop 479. 54% jam rate, less sold for $111 US on May 20th. It is up 4% in the past 2 weeks, 7% in the past 3 months. So what would you call it? Like tepid growth?
Tepid growth.
I'm not even sure what that means. So just like the way
small growth. It's tepid, like just baby steps, right? It's taking
it's kind of like, I don't know, but I think so. I'm pretty sure that's the official definition. And then, of course, like we always do in our hobby deep dives, we're going to go through the top 5 selling Evan Bouchard hockey cards to date with each's respective top sale. And, of course, all sales via eBay are verified as paid for in Terapeak.
Oh, I got a question about that. Should we just – do you think we're at a point now where we can stop – or maybe I say it all the time, where I could stop saying verified by Terapeak? Should people know that we are – I don't know what the right word is – anal retentive and always go to Terapeak on eBay sales?
Maybe, but I think
it's a good reminder. It's a good reminder.
It's a good reminder for everyone to do that. Good question, though. All right, number 5, 2019-20, the Cup. Top 10 picks. Auto 101. Raw sold for $634 US in April 2022.
Doesn't this seem like a sad Cup card? Like,
and is it even a rookie too? Because
I don't know.
His rookie like hobby year is 2018-19.
Yeah, this is a weird card.
This card confuses me. I'm going to be completely honest about that. But 101, top 10 pick auto. Yeah, not my favorite. Number 4, Troy, is a 2018-19 Upper Deck Young Guns High Gloss out of 10 raw. Sold in February of 2022 for $650 US.
Okay.
Somebody paid $650 for that card, and there's no way to tell what.
Yep.
Literally, the upper right and lower right corners could be completely ripped off, like ripped off.
Look
the
at
card.
this. Yeah.
And you would.
I would not buy this card. No. I would never buy this card.
It's stupid. I get like taking the lazy train when you're like selling $2 cards on eBay, but this is when you want 650 bones, it's like you could find a way to get rid of the glare. You can do it, man. All right, number 3, 2018-19 Upper Deck Young Guns exclusives out of 100 jersey number, which is 75 out of 100 raw.
Okay, because I was about how did this go for more than the high gloss?
I know.
Jersey number.
$1,025 US in July 2023. So it was like what, a year and 4 months later, too. But then, okay, all things being equal, what do you think in your mind should be more valuable? Jersey number exclusives or high gloss?
I would say high gloss, but man,
me too.
The premium we see on some jersey numbers is crazy. And I mean, we've had people tell us jersey numbers don't matter, but then you get an example like this where it seems it does. So I don't know.
It doesn't matter till you pull one, and then you want like
then you want more money for it.
And you're like, jersey number, it's a jersey number. Look. All right, number 2, 2018-19 OPG Platinum Rookie Auto Seismic Gold out of 25 PSA 10 sold just April 9th, a month or so ago, for $1,252 US.
See his holder? It's a Draisaitl auto. That's pretty fun.
Oh yeah. Then number 1, Troy, another 2018-19 OPG Platinum Marquee Rookie Golden Treasures 101 raw on March of 2022 sold for $1,583 US.
Or if it's just a picture, but this is one of those looks like dull golds, which I'm not that big of a fan of. But it could be Comp C too.
It's a Comp C photo.
Since I'm a Comp C expert, I'm noticing their scans are garbage.
You think they could buy like a better scanner, wouldn't you?
Scanner and get rid of the watermark. I know you want everyone to know it's ComC, but sometimes that watermark is right over like an important part of the card or an auto. And
I hate it.
It's just like, come on.
Should we start a GoFundMe to get ComC a scanner?
Well, they're located here, right? We found that out. They're in Minnesota, right?
But you got to donate to my lip injury first, though.
Okay.
Keep our priorities here. All right. Well, that's Evan Bouchard, Hobby Deep Dive. What do you like? What do you don't like? What do you think?
Oh, it's cool. I actually didn't know that. Wait, hold on. ComC's located in Redmond, Washington. So never mind.
Are they Microsoft employees? Because that's where Microsoft is, right?
That could be. Yeah, I don't know why I thought Minnesota. Anyways, so actually that was the most I ever knew about was just watching your thing on.
Can you look up like Rasmus Dahlin's season stats? So just for this year, because did he do better than Bouchard, who had what I'm looking for it, 18 goals and 82 points?
So Dahlin had 20 goals, 39 assists this year.
Okay.
And for his career, he's got 292 points. Dahlin does. So I know that's that's a lot more than Bouchard, who was like 140-ish, right? Okay. But anyways, interesting. I mean, big guy seems to be hitting his stride. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. It's probably in the East Coast League if he doesn't play with McDavid. Okay. Got to make a quick mention for Gongshow partner and sponsor Slab Sharks. Of course, we are grateful for their support of the show. The current Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction ends tonight. Be sure to head to slabsharks.com for a link to the auction. Place your bids. Many, many awesome cards in this week's auction, Troy, like always. Every week there is. Kind of redundant, almost. You talk about like mentioning Terapeak. I feel that way about saying there's cool cards in the Slab Sharks auction.
Yeah, it's crazy. And there's just so many. You got to put some time if you want to go through every single card. If that's how you buy, you go through everything instead of just searching for your PC or something. Like, you really got to put some work in, but they have so many good cards.
A lot of spendy brown cardboard boxes I see this week. Yeah. Also, Troy, have you downloaded the Slab Sharks app and have you registered for their portal yet?
I have not. I need to do that because I saw now, is the dog thing, is that real? Can I get a picture of my dog? Did you see those?
Oh, is that through like Tag or something like that?
Oh no, I thought that was Slab Sharks. Was it Tag? That was Tag, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. But no, I haven't done the app yet. I usually just when I do Slab Sharks stuff, I'm on eBay when I do it all, when I search for it, but I should get the app.
Yeah, you can see like any card you buy and stuff like that then goes in there. And so definitely the way to go. You get a lot more insights than you do on eBay. So we'll convert you, Troy. Don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, even on the website, you can look at the unpaid report. I know it's a huge thing, but you can, they put it right there. You can see it.
Do you know why, Troy, Slab Sharks has quickly become the consignor of choice for Canadian hockey cards collectors? Do you?
Because they're awesome, but you're going to tell me some more things.
Well, it's because they make the process easy, Troy. They do all the work. Nobody likes doing work. I hate doing work. So do you. And their auctions get a huge amount of eyeballs, which helps, right? When you're selling, that's what you want. You want to do nothing and have tons of people look at your cards and want to buy it. So you probably get a good opportunity for that to happen with Slab Sharks. Also, Troy, got to mention there's only days left. We're down to days left of the crazy Bedard promotion where they're paying out 98%, I think through June 2nd, something like that, on all Bedard cards. So get them in, guys. Get them in. And then for complete consignment information and to start the consignment process today, head to slabsharks.com. Hobby News!
Let's do it. Hobby News.
All right, Road to Infinity update. It's time to take a peek at our progress towards the Road to Infinity, Troy, where we are tracking the climb of the PSA 10 population count for the Connor Bedard based Young Guns. In just a couple months, it's already become one of the most graded hockey cards ever. Not that it's a big surprise. I think most of us expected that, right?
Yes.
Still amazing to chronicle, though. It's kind of funny, too. I was worried about doing this every show. Not that we're, it's unique for us to be repetitive. But we get a lot of comment. Like, people really like it and want us to continue. So I'm happy about that. Well, as of our last report, the pop count for Bedard's base Young Guns PSA 10 had climbed to 2,729 with a 45% gem rate. That was on Monday. Now we're just a few days later. And according to PSA Pop reports, the current PSA 10 pop count is now, Troy, up to 2,786, which is an increase of 57 PSA 10s since Monday's show. In total, 6,172 Bedard-based Young Guns have now been graded, keeping the gem rate at 45%. So here's my question.
Here's my question. Where's the overlay? Where's the overlay?
Oh. Well, you can do it.
That's all I wait for. Oh, I didn't know I could do it. I thought you
try it.
Where is it? There it is.
Yeah. Sorry. Oops. Okay. That was the bigger question. But do you think by Monday we'll hit 3,000? That would be what, 214?
Yeah. Oh, no. 3,000? No. By Monday. I'll say no.
Okay. I think it's going to happen. Well, I don't know. Does PSA grade on Memorial Day weekend?
They're on vacation probably. They're probably still finding Bedards that fell behind the boxes in the move. So who knows?
All right. Well, stay tuned, Hobby. Only one other story today in Hobby News, Troy.
Oh, there's our boy.
This guy, Matvei Michkov. I can say his last name better than his first name. So Michkov. Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of reports that Michkov, the 7th overall pick for your Philadelphia Flyers, is set to terminate his KHL contract in Russia and join the Flyers next season. So, Troy, are you going to hate him too, just like you hate Eric Lindros, or what's the plan?
I'm actually excited to see this guy play because I haven't watched any video or anything on him.
The only thing I know two things about him. One is sad that his dad was mysteriously ended up floating in a pond or something like that.
It's that guy? I thought that was the goalie.
No, this is Michkov.
Oh, it's Michkov. Okay.
And then there's something at a very young age that he has done in the KHL that even exceeded Alexander Ovechkin. So there's a little steam because of that. But at 19 years old, he could end up in the NHL much faster than we typically expect from Russian KHL draft picks. Well, do you even understand how the process works? Like when a Russian is drafted? I feel like I don't.
I totally think it's up to Putin how he's feeling, and there's probably some back channel political spy swapping that goes on. I don't know. It just seems I don't understand anything about the Russian system or the KHL.
So you think Vladdy Putin controls the whole situation?
Probably.
I found a little bit of a hint that maybe there was a cash money deal between the Flyers and Michkov's KHL team to buy the rights. That
makes sense too.
So then I, of course, because everything has to be about us, I'm sitting here, I think, well, why did our boy Kirill the Thrill have to wait what seemed like a decade to make it to Mini here, Troy? Were the Wild cheap about the situation? Were they not willing to pay the bribe, or what happened?
Paul Fletcher didn't want to pony up, or what?
Do we have to have a 40-year-old rookie Kaprizov, and Michkov's 19? Very angry about that. But it is pretty exciting for Philly fans whose team was in the playoffs hunt, pretty much till the bitter end of the season. You think Torts is going to like him? Is he going to ruin his?
Oh, I think he's going to get mad, fight Torts. I said Paul Fletcher. It's Chuck Fletcher. Duh.
Oh yeah. Well, Torts.
I didn't know if he was GM either when the Wild got Kaprizov. So I'm just throwing out random stuff.
Torts will end up building up his confidence only to burn it to the ground, right?
Torts is such an interesting figure. At times, I love him. I love what they show highlights or him talking to the locker room. It's yes, Torts, you are dead on. And then you hear some stories where he does not come off pretty good, and it's just I don't know. He's a very conflicting, polarizing figure. I think
he'd be too risky for me if I was a GM. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Well, okay. There's a little bit of a hobby slant to this too, because depending what happens in the draft, and particularly if what happens with Macklin Celebrini, and we talked about this before when the Sharks got the first pick and the fact that they kind of stink, does that mean that Will Smith, who was drafted last year, and Macklin Celebrini would elect to go back to the Boston College and Boston University? And if that happens, then are we in a situation where it's well, who are the hobby chases next year? Or is it going to be a down year? And we know we have Cutter Gauthier.
Yeah,
he's one, and we got some holdover guys that played a few games this spring. But and this is a big assumption, if Michkov does make it to the U.S., does start the season with the Flyers, he could go to the HL, I suppose, or something like that too. Could he potentially be a Series 2 young gun or something?
You think Upper Deck's praying right now that happens?
Probably. But I think at this point, I'm a little worried about that 2024-25 hobby class. So
yeah,
any other rookies we can get into the mixer, I'm all about. Any other thoughts on Michkov before we move on?
No, I'm excited for him. I don't hate him like like you said. I hate Lindros, but excited to see him get over here, and hopefully he can get over faster than Krill seemed to take.
Okay, we're going to move on to our 5 favorite Bedard rookies so far, which are really my rookies, 5 favorite, but you're going to agree with me, or otherwise you're going to hurt my feelings. We have mentioned a few times now, Troy, that we're getting to the point where there's a good amount of Bedard rookies that have come out and are available in the secondary market.
Is there too many, do you think? Too many Bedard rookies?
Not that we're anywhere near completion, Troy, with all the 2023-24 sets. What do we estimate? Like a couple shows ago, maybe like we're like 40-45% of the 23-24 sets are out now, something like that, right?
I don't know. It sounds right.
So it got me thinking, knowing this is a bunch of cards out now, like what are my favorites? Favorites is somewhat of a vague term, of course, so I'm going to define it for the purpose of this list. So when I say favorites, I mean favorites as in not necessarily the most valuable. This isn't the top 5 most spent on cards. And it has to be somewhat accessible. So I didn't like pick any 101s because like, what's the point of mentioning a favorite if nobody can get it, if only one person can have it? So you have to have a realistic chance to get one. Of course, it's cards that I think look awesome. But also I did kind of want to, one of my points of consideration was cards down the road that I think if everything works out with Bedsy, like we hope it does, Troy, that these are cards that could potentially do well from a value perspective.
Should we call these, are we going to call these rookie year cards? Or are we going to have a whole debate on if...
Yeah, we're not going to, we're not true rookie cards. So we don't go there.
Okay.
I don't know if I really prescribe. Maybe it's just my personal collecting taste where the true rookies aren't super important to me. I mean, I get it, but...
Yeah, I get it. It's never come up where it affected me on a purchase or anything. But I understand why. I get it. I totally get it. And I don't fault anyone that goes that route when they collect rookies that they want, the ones that are the true rookies.
It's not a countdown either. I didn't have the bandwidth to try to wrap my head around that. So it's just by 5, don't worry about the order. It's just the 5 I like.
Okay.
I also didn't pick any rookie patch autos because they're all sticker autos at this point.
Yeah.
We ain't all about that. So God bless you if you like sticker autos, just not our thing. Also no patches yet. That I just loved, so there's none on the list. So these are like rookie cards, rookie autos. Then when I'm done, of course, you're going to tell me I'm a genius, and it's the greatest picks you've ever seen, Troy. Okay. And, don't feel you need to hold back tears. Just going to say that right now. Nobody will think bad of you. All right, here's my top 5 Connie Bedsy rookies so far. So the first one I went with is 23-24 OPG Retro Rookie Black Border out of 100. It's between this one and the next ones for me that I think are my absolute favorites. I really love this card, Troy. To me, the design is stunning. Black borders just hit different, as the kids say. Kind of a sucker for any OPG retro card, too. So I would have a predisposition to like them. Given it's out of 100, too, it's pretty limited, so you don't have to worry about there being too many. I think if you can find one, too, where like the centering is good and the corner, any black border card where the corners are, you maintain the black, there's no whiting or anything like that. You could have a real banger in a few years. And only a touch of bad hockey mouth.
Yeah, slightly. So I did slightly.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. What do you like? Do you like this card?
By far my favorite. I'll just give up the. I'll bury the lead and go right there. This is my favorite one. By far. So
if you could have any Bedard rookie so far, this is the one you would choose.
This is the one I want.
Okay.
I don't care about the
maybe me too. Oh, I looked up everyone too. Wait, do you have card letter open? Look up what the last sales of this were really quick.
You know what's funny? I was looking up this card earlier and it's like hard to find it. I don't know if it's just the wording. Because I did Connor Bedard retro black border and it was like not
Bedard black out of 100.
$864.75.
this is gonna be like the biggest broken record thing we do. I mean, more so than the whole Terapeak thing. But
I don't agree with this number. That might be a bad sale. I'd have to look that up in Terapeak.
Okay.
That seems,
even if it's like $1,200, something like that. I don't know how you wouldn't buy this card any day of the week over a Young Guns. I just don't.
Someone got one for $300 in March 28th.
Ooh. Yeah. Lucky.
Anyways, it's all over the place there. How about that?
Okay, so that's card number 1, the OPG Retro Black Border out of 100. I kind of cheated on the next one. I had to. I went with the Outbursts, with the exception of the golds. I went with the silver and red.
Interesting.
Well, if you have deeper pockets, you might like the red.
Yeah, I think the red is 100 times better looking than the silver, but I get it.
It's just it's out of 25 and it goes for huge dough, and it came down to the whole accessible thing. So yeah, it's the Outburst silver and red from 23-24 Upper Deck Series 2. I really think Upper Deck like completely knocked it out of the park with this whole Outburst thing. The designs are amazing. They deserve a lot of credit for that.
Isn't it like patented? Like we don't even know how they do.
I don't know. Should we patent it? Would they be mad?
Probably.
Billy, I need you to know that that Bedard Outburst, Troy and I own the patent.
We patented.
We need you to add our logo instead of Upper Deck. Then people can complain about Gongshow logo on the card. I'm gonna speak controversial, Troy. I think I actually like the Outburst silver more than the Outburst red.
Oh, you're
even crazy. Though I get the color match with red, I get it. So why did I pick this ones and like not a base Young Guns? Well, there's gonna be no Road to Infinity update with these cards. So red is obviously limited to 25, and silvers are much more rare than the base. So remember, the pack odds to pull a Connor Bedard Young Guns Outburst silver is 1 in every 3,000 packs versus Troy 1 in 100 pack odds for Bedard base Young Guns.
Okay.
Yeah. So much more rare will be the silvers. In time too, I think another reason why I like both these cards is I think you're going to have sort of that first effect years down the road, assuming the Outburst parallels continued. You know how like part of the mystique, not just that they're great players for Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin, is like their cup RPAs are the first year of the cup.
Yeah.
So we have Bedard's Young Guns being the first year of Outbursts, and that just adds a little something, I think, to the card. Now, the last sale of an Outburst Silver Raw was $1,500 US on May 14th, and then last sale of an Outburst Red Raw was April 18th for $7,539 US. So, any comments you want to make on the Outbursts, other than you like the red better?
I like the red better. I think they're fantastic looking cards. I totally agree with you on Upper Deck knocking it out of the park. And PSA Pop Reports broke. Stinking website. Anyways, now I'm all flustered.
Okay. Card number 3 is 2023 Upper Deck and Play Exclusives Bedard Gold Ink Auto. Love this card for a few reasons, Troy. You have I like the tribute aspect of it, where they went with the McDavid design, so they kind of connecting the generations of players there. I think that's really cool. It's an on-card auto, which there's still very few of. A lot of stickers yet. I don't collect stickers. I collect. The black background with the gold ink auto is just magical, I think, when it comes to autographs. So that's a big plus for me. Conditions going to be really tough on these cards because it's deep colors all to the borders again. There's a lot of them that, like this one is an SGC 8 with a 10 auto. Probably. And
sometimes gold auto is smudgy. They get smudgy.
Yeah, 10 auto is kind of big there. They're also not numbered or anything like that, but we know Upper Deck doesn't have thousands of employees. Like a few hundred maybe. So it's going to be somewhat limited, I think. And even though it'd be better if it was like numbered out of 175 or something like that.
Yeah.
This card last sold raw on May 13th for $1,750 US.
Yeah.
So think about this, Troy. Basically a day apart, a silver Outburst raw sells for $1,500 US, and then this one sells for $250 more.
with an auto.
Golden auto. Yeah. Okay, two more. Wait, yeah, two more left.
Yeah. Yep, two more.
Number 3 is a 2023-24, another OPG card, the Premier Diamond Rainbow out of 75. A lot of people like this card. Get a lot of good feedback on it. Maybe touch underrated are the Diamond Rainbows. I love it's out of 75. We got good pop control there, lower print run. You also have that OPG heritage. Goes back to the 1990 set, of course, where you had Yager and Madonna and Fedorov rookies. Rainbow foiling looks great, I think, on the card. I really love the thicker cardstock that Upper Deck has been using for OPG premieres in the, when you pull them out of the pack of the OPG paper packs.
Yep.
And I think it's a nice action shot of Bedard. So I'm a big fan of the card. This one last sold raw in March for $862 US.
Good price.
So is this where are you still on board with my line of thinking? Or are you coming off the train here?
No, I like these cards. I wouldn't pay $860 for it, but they do look cool.
Then the last one, I'm going to admit, is
this is where I jump off. This is where I jump off the train.
Well, this is where I'm the least sort of, or what's convicted? No, I'm not. I didn't do
conviction.
At least I want a conviction. The first 4 came really easy to me. It was like boom, 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 boom. And then I spent like an hour and a half like trying to pull whatever hair I have left, figure out what this one should be. Well, I went with the 2023-24 Black Diamond Exquisite Rookie 09 Retro Gold out of 99. Yeah, so they got it into a top 10. I wouldn't have survived. And I kind of learned through this too that there aren't as many Bedard as many as there are out there. The amount that I would actually spend my money on is pretty small. Like maybe I'm just like really picky and card snooty or something like that. But I was like, nope. Just not for me. It doesn't mean they're bad. So I hemmed and hawed for a while. Now, when I was thinking about this card, the term hemmed and hawed came to mind. Then, of course, because I'm like a squirrel, like an ADD squirrel, I'm like, hemmed and hawed. Like, where does that come from? Right? Have you ever thought like where that phrase comes from, Troy?
No.
So you haven't lost
any. I'm about to find out, baby.
Yeah, you're about to find out because you know me. All right, here we go. You ready? Excited?
Yes. Let's do it.
The term hem and haw first appeared in the 1630s. The word hem is an imitative word of a throat clearing, and the word ha is related to the term aha, which references a haughty British accent. The phrase hem and ha is primarily an American term.
Is this like, so it would be like ha?
Yeah, but you're making fun of the British at the same time. I wasn't a pilgrim or anything like that, so I'm going to first admit this, but I got a little confused on the chronology of this, where it's a term from the 1630s and it's an American term. I'm not saying that the pilgrims weren't here then, but America wasn't something for
no.
America 150 more years.
Pilgrims
right?
weren't the first to come to America.
I know they weren't the first. There was the Native Americans, but they weren't doing.
And Columbus, right? He didn't really reach America, but that was like 1490s, right? When
he was like in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is not a good history show, so we're gonna. I'll say here's why I settled on the card. So it's the Exquisite brand, which we know is very sexy and exciting, and gives it a panache that should hold up over time. I like the design of the card. Maybe you don't. It's out of 99, so again, shorter print run, and it's a gold parallel try, and we know anything gold, quote unquote, is typically gold for resale values. So if you have a better option, or if somebody else wants to chime in and message us on socials or something like that, I'm because again, I'm not married to this card, but this is sort of
this is hobby drama right now, because I think for the last month you've been hemming and hawing over the 3D marquee rookie. Where is that? How's that not on your list?
Because it's weird, and I didn't, I love it. It's my favorite. But I know I like weird cards, so I didn't want to throw.
This was your favorite Bedard cards.
Yeah, but I wanted to give suggestions that I thought would be useful maybe to people and give people some ideas. You're right, it is, and that thought crossed my mind multiple times. I do love the Marquee Rookie 3D, and I don't want people to buy it because I still don't have
one. Here it is for everyone. It does not.
Have me being really honest, Troy. Don't buy this card. It's junk. It's terrible. It sucks. It's like $2.50 maybe. Yeah, but this is my personal favorite. But this is what I collect, though. I collect really weird, strange cards, which I can't find right now. Like I just got the Datsuk 2014 OPC 3D. I collect Glow Peachy. You know, so I don't know. I mean, do other people like these cards or just me? That's my problem. I don't have a good feel as to how kind of much of an oddball I am.
No, it's a good list. I love the OPG black borders. It's my favorite by far. I just love how it looks. I love the new paper stock they used. I think every black border I've seen, the borders or the black has been really full, and I haven't seen.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, so I think those look really nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here it is. See, 3D. That's it.
Nice.
It's my jam. Is there any card that comes to mind that you would have replaced probably the Exquisite with?
I mean, here's the deal. Connor Bedard just doesn't excite me that much. Like we've said, I've sat out the whole thing. I just if you'd asked me what's my favorite, I would have named the black border without I had to show it. That's the one I like the most.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of trying to scroll through TCDB and see if there was any I didn't know about, and there's nothing really that jumps out there. Tops nows are kind of fun, but
mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, so black border all the way.
Yeah, like I said, if anyone has any other suggestions or wants to chime into the conversation, comment on YouTube or message us on social media. Would love to hear what you guys think. So, okay, new product releases. Honestly, Trey, there's not a lot going on right now.
I think it's like a holiday weekend. They just don't want to announce it.
Yeah, a little bit of a new product hiatus here. We did get a small update from Upper Deck today on the release calendar. So Synergy is still the next product, which will come out on June 5th. We don't have a checklist yet. We should get one soon. And at that time, we'll do one of our breakdowns. And I haven't even looked at the set yet. So I'm kind of excited to see what some of the card designs are going to look like. It'll be another 2023 product, though. So it'll be on the cheaper end for the Bedard Chase. It is nice having those not like $500 hobby boxes that we've been chatting about. But here's where the change is now. So extended series, both hobby and retail have each been pushed back a week.
Okay.
Extended series hobby is now scheduled to release on June 19th, and then retail coming out a week later on June 26th. So that kind of puts us back on the every couple weeks cadence, which I think is generally healthy release schedule. When they're every week, it feels a little nutty.
There was that streak where it was overwhelming. It's
like the Upper Deck minigun was just like firing new products there. Yeah, what was that? Was that like January, February, early March? Kind of that. It was every week.
It was recent. I know that. There was just stuff. Boom, 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 boom.
So you agree you like sort of the every couple week cadence that works?
Yeah, I would like every couple weeks because I know they can't do. I would love once a month, but you can't. You have more products than 12, so they gotta double and triple up sometimes during the month.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're just going to move on to PWCC then. Of course, they're a partner and sponsor. We're grateful for their support of our show. We've been talking, Troy, for a few weeks now about not sleeping on the PWCC fixed price marketplace for hockey cards. And I want to illustrate my point because I know you don't believe me. But here's just a couple hockey cards you can pick up right now. I just, in 5 minutes, found 3 cards that I thought were pretty awesome that are available in the fixed price marketplace right now at pwccmarketplace.com. So, but believe it or not, don't fall out of your chair. I'm going with the Leaf card, but this one's, I think, pretty awesome. It's a 2019 Leaf Superlative Pruvale, Pavel Bure, and Alexander Mogilny game used patches 101.
What team?
I don't know.
That's gotta be Russian teams or something.
You think so?
I think so. Bure's, who's that?
Were they like in a broomball league that they played in?
This is where Leaf can go off the rails a little. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, that's not like some sort of Panthers patch, is it?
Maybe that's at Florida. That might be Florida. You might be right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then who did McGillney play for? Did he end up playing
Buffalo.
for Capitals? Is that Capitals?
It might be Capital. Let's see.
Yeah, Troy. He
played for the Devils. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So Buffalo,
cool card,
Vancouver. No, he never played for the Capitals. So it's Buffalo, Vancouver, Devils, Toronto.
Yeah, this ain't Toronto. We know that.
I don't know who that is.
When I saw this card, though,
Vancouver,
it did bring up a question that I had that I'm curious to get your perspective on.
Okay.
Patches are awesome. Whatever team they're from, we don't know.
Yes.
Do you like cards where there's literally not even like a teeny tiny head, where there's no picture whatsoever of the player, where it's just a giant set of patches like on this card? Or does, in your mind, does a hockey card have to have some sort of representation of the player on it?
Does not have to have representation of the player, but I would never buy it. That's just a personal preference. I don't want just a big patch.
So like if there's a little teeny tiny head on each side, you would
that'd be great.
Okay.
It's like those Pecorenes that I have. You know, they got they're autoed, huge patch, and it's got his picture. So it's all three.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, but I'm not even sure why that should matter to me, but it does. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's okay. Well, here's another one that I really love. A 1997 Gretzky Pinnacle Certified Mirror Red BGS 9.5. The more I learn about 90s cards, the more I like it. I just really do. You a fan of stuff like this?
Yep. It looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, if you have a little more of a high-end budget like Troy, if you're made of money, he seems to be, there's a 2015-16 SP Authentic Connor McDavid Flop. Future Rush Auto Patch out of 100, BGS 9.510 with the sick patch, sick auto, sick everything, sick card. Love it. Yeah. So I just want to give everyone a little taste what's in the fixed price marketplace. Of course, Trey, there's also the current PWCC Weekly, which is live right now. It's Thursday. That's when you and I each pick out our favorite vintage and modern cards to highlight and learn more about. Auction runs through Sunday. You can place your bids, of course, at pwccmarketplace.com. So let's get to the cards, Troy, and we'll start with our favorite vintage cards in this week's auction. I've said this before, but I think I learned most about the hobby because we basically deep dive into these cards. So the first one, Troy, that I picked is a 1951 Parkhurst Maurice Rocket Richard PSA 5. It has a PWCC exceptional eye appeal rating, putting this card in the top 15% of all PSA 5 copies. This is a card I would really love to own someday.
I was going to say, just a quick look, but then I see some stuff you're going to bring up, but man, first glance, it looks really nice.
Very nice. Okay, so values aside, somebody says, I'll give you, and again, let's say values are identical. It doesn't matter. A 51 Parkey, Gordie Howe, or Maurice Richard. Which one would you just personally more like to own?
Oh, man. I'll go Gordie Howe since because he played for American team. I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, both of them would be sweet, but I'll go Gordie Howe. I'll take Mr. Hockey. Barely over Maurice Richard.
Hold on, Trey. Just got a text. Hold on. You're no longer welcome in Montreal this weekend.
They've rescinded my key to the city. Your
passport has been prepare to be arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd actually like this card. I don't even know why. I always really loved this card. Maybe it's something to the romance, right? French is very romantic, French Canadian of Montreal, and the Rocket, sweet nickname. Not that Mr. Hockey isn't a good nickname, but so yeah, we each different opinion there. So the 1951 Parkhurst Maurice Richard PSA 5 is a pop 55, 146 copies graded higher. Highest grade, Troy, at PSA is a PSA 9. There's 5 copies. Sure, that would go for a lot
of money.
In looking at a lot of 1951 Parkeys now, Troy, I've learned a big consideration for these cards really comes down to especially when you're considering eye appeal, comes down to the quality of printing. So are the colors deep and bold, not faded? Is the picture of the player clear? And then a lot of people really look at the bottom text to make sure that sometimes it's not even really readable, especially like the red can be so faded that you can't read it. And I think, I guess my opinion is the print quality on this card is really nice. It's not perfect, of course.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. but it's nice. And the centering is really good overall. Biggest issues are the corners, especially the upper right corner, where it looks like there's maybe even a little bit of paper loss to go along with some corner wear. But honestly, on this card, that doesn't bother me that much. And overall, great eye appeal on this card, which of course I think is why PWCC gave it the exceptional eye appeal rating. Richard Troy is, wait, I'm going to stop. First of all, do you agree that for a PSA 5, that pretty nice copy?
Very nice copy. I think, just quick glance. That centering's dead on left to right. Top to bottom's off a little bit, but man, just the picture itself, really colorful. Looks great. Obviously, you see somewhere at where it says Rocket, that R in the corners, but man, besides that, this looks really nice.
Okay, Richard is the legendary Montreal Canadiens forward who only won 8 Stanley Cups. When he retired in 1960, Trey, he was the all-time goal. He was the Wayne Gretzky, Alexander Ovechkin of his time. He retired as the NHL all-time goals leader with 544. Now, though, that ranks 33rd all-time. Kind of crazy. So I didn't realize this, Troy, that the Rocket Richard Trophy was not awarded until 1999. So only 25 years now.
I didn't know it was that. I thought it was actually more recent than that.
Oh, really? So Teemu Selanne was the first Rocket Richard winner in 1999. Okay. So do you want to take a guess who has won the most Rocket Richards since it was first awarded in 1999?
Well, I'd go either. Well, Crosby never.
Can you get the Jeopardy button bar music here, Troy? Please?
Oh my gosh, I was gonna say Crosby, but I don't know how many times he's actually led the league in scoring. But it's gotta be someone that's been around for a while.
It's so obvious.
No! It's Ovi. It's gotta be Ovi. 2005.
9 times. 9 times. Little Fairs. 9 times.
Now I gotta see how many times Sid Crosby won it, or was I being a total idiot? Yeah, it's probably. I remember he doesn't. It's not that many.
Well, I had to throw in a Rocket Richard fun fact to celebrate this card, Troy.
Nice.
Tell me if you knew this. Maurice Richard was given the nickname Rocket by teammate Raymond Getliff. Getliff was impressed by Richard's explosive speed on the ice and started calling him Rocket. The nickname quickly caught on and became synonymous with Richard's dynamic playing style and goal-scoring prowess. But probably the biggest contribution, I don't know if he would love this or his family would, that Getliff made to the NHL was coining Rocket Richard, right?
Did you look him up? Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No, I didn't. Last sale for 1951, Parkhurst, Maurice Rocket Richard, PSA 5, $6,336 US of a 8th. All-time high was $7,000 this past December 25th. Wait, Merry Christmas to somebody, huh? You know, some guys like, well, I'm buying myself a Christmas present. I'm buying a Rocket Richard for me. You got a current bid?
$2,800 US.
Is Getliff in the Hall of Fame? Do you look it up?
No, 2-time Cup winner, not in the Hall of Fame.
All right, you got the next one.
All right. 1910, Josh. C56. It's up on the screen for our YouTubers. Tom Dunderdale, rookie number 14, PSA 5. Hey, 2 PS5s in a row. What do you know? Okay. So, again, going back to the 1910 C56 cards. And again, this is one I was like, Tom Dunderdale. Who's that? So
looks like a Wes Anderson film, like poster, right? Doesn't it?
It does. And I look him up, and wow, this is another one. I just love reading about these guys. And here, I'm just going to start this one off with a quick bio of our boy Josh. All obtained from PSA's got some really nice bio stuff sometimes. PSA and Wikipedia. Josh, first and only Australian-born player to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. There you go.
Very emotional.
Mic drop.
You won the episode. Calling it.
Thomas Dunderdale scored what is widely believed to be the first ever penalty shot in the history of ice hockey.
Wow.
It's just like, wow. Okay.
What would you have to do back then to get a penalty shot? Do you have to
bald,
poke somebody's eyeballs out or something like that? It's you probably should award him a penalty shot.
All right. The Dunderdale family immigrated to Canada in 1904 when Tommy was 17 years old. That's right, Josh. Tommy Dunderdale did not play his first organized hockey game until he was age 17. And then he ends up in the Hall of Fame. Pretty good. his family, then moved to Winnipeg in 1905, where he began his professional career playing for the Winnipeg Strathconas, I guess it's called. I have no idea.
I love the Strathconas.
Strathconas, also known as the Winnipeg Maple Leafs. Then heading to the Montreal Shamrocks. In 1911, Dunderdale headed west to Victoria, British Columbia to play for the Aristocrats of the Pacific Coast Hockey Association.
Oh, wait. There's so much to unpack here. First of all, what are the odds? So when he was in Australia, it was like 1900, something like that. Do you think that there was even a single ice skating rink in Australia in 1900?
Zero.
Couldn't have been. So he literally probably did not know how to skate.
Yeah, he might have roller skated or something. I don't know.
Then was there a lot of identity confusion in the NHL in the early 1900s? We have the Winnipeg Maple Leafs, then the Montreal Shamrocks. Wasn't Toronto the Shamrocks for a while too? And then did Toronto steal every name that they are they?
I'm sure these teams moved around and they just
probably.
Seems like back in the day they didn't really.
And then the last comment I'll make before I'm interested to hear you continue is every time you say Dunderdale, is there a part of you that thinks of like Dunder Mifflin? Yeah,
a little bit.
I just want to make sure I'm not the only one because that's been like going crazy inside my head.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, Dunderdale played center for 10 years with the Victoria Aristocrats and the Victoria Cougars, Josh. More name identities.
Cougars.
With a 3-year stint playing for the Portland Rosebud.
Is that just like a 1900s way of saying pot? Like
I don't know.
Portland pot smokers, you think?
Rosebud. He finished his career with the Saskatoon Crescents and Edmonton Eskimos of the Western Canadian Hockey League. Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
I have a business idea that we're copyrighted, trademarked. We patented it. The patent just went through. I already submitted it 30 seconds ago. I think we're going to make millions of dollars. We need to make like old school jerseys for like.
Oh, they do that. There's companies that do that.
So I should cancel my Porsche order.
Yeah, there's companies out there.
You ruin everything for me, Troy. You ruin everything.
Get the Seattle team, right? That won like the first cup or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but they won
the Millionaires.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Dunderdale is known for his stick handling, speed, and hard shot. He was also known for playing very physical and was penalized often. He was often considered the bad man of the PCHA, which was a common epithet in newspapers for the player with the most penalty minutes. I vote that they bring the bad man of the game back to every NHL game. That'd be fantastic.
Oh, like 3 stars, like the 3 stars of the night, and then the bad man of the
bad man of the game.
I'm on board with that.
We got the most penalties. Tommy Dunderdale was named to 6 PCHA All-Star first teams, led the league in goals 3 times, points twice, played in the 2 Stanley Cup series in 1914 and 16 with the Aristocrats and Rosebuds, respectively. Dunderdale finished his career with 194 goals, 60 assists, 254 points, and 494 penalty minutes in 231 professional games between the Manitoba Hockey League, the National Hockey Association, the PCHA, and the WCHL. Okay, that's way more Tom Dunderdale than I thought I wrote, but hey, got to learn about these guys. So now the card, PSA 5. If you're watching on YouTube, it's on the screen. There's definitely some like color stuff going on, and some print marks you can see are pretty prominent. But again, I some of that might be to the picture, or I would just recommend look at the picture if you're interested in this card. I did look at other cards on eBay and such in the PSA 5 range, and you could see similar things. So it's not like this is the only card. All of these like PSA 5, 4s,
sure,
some of the 6s have kind of the same look to
them. It's 114 years old.
Yeah.
And if you're like, there's a pretty decent hobby community in Australia. You would think this would be like the card, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. He's like the man. Corners and edges look really, really nice. If you zoom in, maybe a little bit of like, the cards the fibers are coming off a little bit. But again, 114 years old, or pretty good shape. The back of the card has see how that color kind of gets darker? There's like a patina. I don't think it's a stain, but it's definitely something to look at. because it's definitely
these in
lighter
cigarette packs. Like, could that be like tobacco?
I wonder. It could. Yeah, that's a great question. Maybe, but just that's again another thing to be aware of. And again, there's a mark here on the under the word 2 that I'm not sure if that's ink or if something happened. Well, here we're getting really close. How about this?
Jeez.
Holy cow. Takes me a while to scroll. All right,
YouTube. We're like seeing amoebas on this card now.
I think I just saw a mitochondria go screaming by. I can't even find the letter or the word. Where'd it go?
Down, left. Down.
There it is. Yeah, so I don't know what that might be an amoeba, or if it's fibers or what, but just be aware.
Is that like a cave drawing? How old is this card? Is it
yeah, I did look at other cards. They definitely did not have this, so this isn't like to all of them, but there's something going on there. Just be aware. Okay, PSA 5 pop of this card is 20.
Wow.
And there are 9 graded higher at PSA. The last sale of a PSA 5 copy of this card was on January 28th of 2024 for $1,226, 1 cent US via eBay, verified in Terapeak. Current bid $260 US. All
right. Last vintage card we're going to feature is another oldie. This is the next year. So we go from 1910 C56 to 1911 C55. Art Ross PSA 7. Only 4 copies graded higher, Troy. PSA 7 is a pop 7. Then there's the 4 higher. There's 3 PSA 7.5s and 1 PSA 8. So this is one of the finest copies of one of the most important and significant cards in the history of the hockey hobby. As you'd expect at PSA 7, I think the card is in pretty nice shape. Biggest issue I see, so this is something that I've become very attuned to in hanging out with the Oracle, Jeremy Lee, so much, is there's a little bit of what we call in the business clockwise tilt. Do you see that, Troy? Clockwise tilt.
Okay, how it's kind of less white up here, more white on the side.
Look at the top of the right border, the bottom, and then on the other side. So the card is like tilted clockwise, hence why they call it clockwise tilt.
Interesting. Got it.
So that's a printing defect, and it's one of those things where I almost hate to point it out because once it's like the arrow in the FedEx logo, you can't unsee it now. So sorry, guys. The corners each have a slight bit of rounding, but overall look pretty good and appropriate again for a card that's 113 years old. Another banger, C55 and the PWCC Weekly. I think these are like a staple between 1910 and 11 in almost every auction.
Yeah.
And Troy, Art Ross was not just a Hall of Fame player that won 2 Stanley Cups, also made considerable contributions to the game as well. We've covered some of these before, but just highlight quickly. He designed the puck and the net. Are those important?
Pretty important.
Okay. He was also an innovator when it comes to rules. The blue line.
Yes.
Art Ross. He also proposed the forward pass, which kind of made me sit and like crinkle my nose at my computer. And I'm thinking, I wasn't around in 1910. How was hockey played in 1910 when there wasn't a forward pass until Art Ross proposed it?
Yeah, do drop passes.
Was it like football with the lateral or something like that? Was that how you had to advance? That'd be kind of weird, huh? Then, of course, he's the namesake of the Art Ross Trophy, which is awarded each season to the player who leads the league in points at the end of the regular season. Kind of ironic. We pointed out before that a defenseman is namesake of the Art Ross Trophy, but he was not only a great player, he was a huge contributor after. I think he was the first general manager and coach of the Boston Bruins, and that's mainly, I think, where the trophy part of it comes from. You a fan of this card?
Huge fan. This is like one of the key cards. Yeah, one of the grails.
I kind of dig the old Wanderers sweater there too.
Yeah.
Last sale of a 1911 C55 Art Ross PSA 7, $1,136 in September 2023. All-time high, $3,411 from the PWCC Weekly in October 2013. Now you might think, because I've had this thought before too, where it's like, well, geez, why was the sale so much higher like 10 years ago? Because we think cards go up over time. What could be, and you'd have to go through and do some research on it, but maybe the pop count was a lot lower at the time, and more, or not as many had been graded, and so that could have been the reason why the price was higher then. You got a current bid?
$1,525 US. So
it's already way above the last sale.
Yeah.
Now, going back to that September 2023 sale, if somebody like knocked on your door, like a door-to-door salesman, and they said, Troy, I have a 1911 C55 Art Ross P, like today, like this had, like if this happened to you today, 1911 C55 Art Ross PSA 7, Troy, do you want to buy it for $1,100?
Sure.
You're saying yes, right?
Yes.
Like, it's like, do you ever look at these and I'm like, where was I in September 2023?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say yes.
Good purchase. All right, we're gonna move on to modern. Got 3 cards to cover quickly. First one is a 2015 Lear Showcase Connor McDavid Precious Metal Gems Blue out of 50 BGS 9. I already have card envy for whoever wins this auction. I'm just gonna, it's whoever you are, I'm jealous. As far as non-auto, non-memorabilia McDavid rookies go, Troy, this might be my absolute favorite one. It's of course not as rare as the green out of 10 or the purple. There's a purple out of 5 this year. But I love the blue color match on this card. And it's not like I have a super unique opinion on that. You know, it's a pretty well sought after card in the hobby. BGS 9 grade, pretty tough to get that grade on any PMG too. Top 5, none graded higher. Now, I know you're not like the biggest PMG guy, but the fact that this 2015 design is pretty different from traditional PMG, are you more on board with this, or are you just kind of totally out in the whole PMG thing?
I am, but now this is a really dumb question. Do most PMGs now say precious metal gem on them?
Yes.
Okay, I wonder if that's why I kind of like this card, because it doesn't say that.
Do you like the metal logo too better than the Upper Deck logo? Like, are you?
Yeah, because it's blended in. It's not stubbornly that Upper Deck palette that they stick to all the time. They do blend it in on some cards when it looks great, and then it looks fine.
Yeah. So remember I said BGS 9 is a pop 5, none graded higher. I did look at PSA too. There's one PSA 9 and one PSA 10. So if you go by grade, this is one of the top 7 probably copies of the card. Overall PMG market has been down a little bit this year. So I don't know, maybe a good time to pick up something like this if you have the means. Especially if you think the Oilers can squeak past the Stolen Stars, Troy. Get to the Cup Finals. Could it be the year for the assist machine? There he is.
There he is.
To get the cup monkey off his back. Are you getting more and more confident that could happen, or?
I don't know. They win that game 7, but it's like they tried to lose it in the third period. There was some stuff I wasn't a big fan of, but we'll see. I hope that listen, for the hobby, it'd probably be a great thing, but we'll see.
If you're a collector and you're into this card, you don't get many chances at it. Of the 50 copies, there's only been 19 public sales in like 8 or 9 years. The last sale for BGS 9 was in June 2022 for $16,800 US, which was in the PWCC Premier. All-time high for a BGS 9 copy was $22,200 in May of 2022. What's the current bid?
$1,000 US. Go for
Holy
it.
moly. Yeah, you'd expect that to get a lot more action. Okay, you went with the next modern one.
I cheated. I kind of cheated. We've done this card before, but
we have.
Yeah, I did it not a long time ago, but I did last year. But I've
try to bring something new to it. Try to bring a new energy, bring some emotion, bring some feeling.
I know. I was like, well, this card. I mean, it's our boy Hank, and it's a 2005 Upper Deck Young Guns Henrik Lundqvist rookie. And we've been talking about him a lot, so it just kind of hit me. I'm like, well, I'm going to do that again because, he's the man on TNT. Every time I see him, he does really good analysis, and I hope they keep him around. I haven't heard anything like they're not going to keep him around, but he's just really awesome, and he brings a really good goalie perspective to the show. So October of 23, Josh, I looked at this card, and so I'm revisiting it. I apologize if you don't like Hank, but anyways, the card's a PSA 10.
Do you think the hobby is going to be more mad at you for this or the fact you hate Eric Lindros?
Probably the Eric Lindros thing. And I don't hate Eric Lindros. That's the thing.
I think it's better for our ratings if I perpetuate the fact that
I hate him. I hate him. All right, so this card, PSA 10, is very nice. Nice color. Look at the front of the picture. Corners look pretty good when you zoom in. I mean, I don't see any curves or anything. So PSA 10, but again, 10s can differ. Just remember that. And again, my favorite part of this card, and I pointed him out last time, this creeper behind the net staring at, I don't know what he's staring at, but he's got some weird looking eyes and he looks deranged.
That's pretty amazing. You are the only person in the world that notices this stuff, and I love you for it because
it cracks me up. This guy's just like
brilliant.
It's like something's going on through that mind. I don't know what's going on in there, but again, favorite part of the card. Hank, he's awesome. He's a fantastic goalie. Played 887 games over a 15-season NHL career with the Rangers, all with the Rangers. 459 wins, 310 losses, 96 ties or overtime losses, 64 shutouts, 2.43 goals against, 0.918 save percentage. Josh, he's in the Hall of Fame. One-time Vezina winner. No cups, though. This card is a PSA 10, has a pop of 339, gem rate of 43%. Last sale on May 12th of this year for $321.24 US via eBay verified in Terapeak. Current bid is $200 US. I'm guessing it will go right in that. It seems to go right up to 300 and then plus minus 10%.
I could see you owning this card. Like, is this a card you would like to have?
I do like this card. I don't know if I want to go up to $300 for it, but I would like to get it at some point.
Okay.
Like I could get a raw copy too. I don't care as long as it's like a decent looking raw copy. I don't need a graded copy at all.
Last card we're going to talk about is a 2015-16 Upper Deck, another McDavid, but a rookie breakouts out of 100 BGS 9.5. I don't think we've ever talked about rookie breakouts. See,
I saw this and I didn't remember these at all.
Well, first of all, it's a True Gem Plus, meaning there's 3 9.5 subgrades and then 1 10 subgrade. The 10 is for centering on this card. Had to pick another McDavid rookie because the rookie breakouts insert, although being discontinued from Flagship, I've heard from, and you just probably don't remember, a lot of collectors that have voiced their disappointment in that fact. And I think that maybe population count replaced this card in Flagship because these last appeared in 2021-22 Upper Deck, and they were typically a Series 2 insert. Now, they first appeared in 2009-10 Upper Deck. Notable rookies for that, Troy, would have been John Tavares, Victor Hedman, Erik Karlsson, and then you could have gotten Ryan O'Reilly in 29-10 with the rookie breakouts. It's an acetate kind of card, but kind of a cool mix. Out of 100, too. So, again, smaller print run there. They don't typically sell for a fortune, but they do have that. It's kind of like one of those middle-of-the-road value cards that if you're a Young Guns alternative person or you just want something different, kind of, you know, like goofy stuff like I do, then a card like this might be for you.
Why don't they move this to Upper Deck Ice? Seems like a good fit.
It kind of does seem like an ice card a little bit. But I like the fact that there was out of 100 kind of cool insert chase in Flagship. So I
agree.
I think I joined that camp where I'm a little bit bummed that they're not still in there and kind of wish they were a thing. If you want to look at, I should have got the picture, but like a really nice looking one of these is the Austin Matthews from 2016-17. Very sharp looking. So I could not find a sale for 2015-16 Upper Deck McDavid rookie breakouts out of 100 BGS 9.5, but I did find a raw copy that sold for $1,175 US last November. All-time high copy for this card is 1,676, another raw copy from April 2023. And so, you know, well, that's a bad background against that too. It actually looks better not on white.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a bad picture.
Again, though, I look at, so assuming that this is like a $2,000 card, it's still going to sell for less than his Young Guns. And I would rather have this than a Young Guns. Same. Well, you can check out these cards and all the other amazing hockey cards in the current PWCC Weekly Auction at pwccmarketplace.com.
$1,275 US. Did you read that? Did you read that? I was trying to find that Matthews, so I don't know if you read it.
I forgot.
Okay.
All right, personal pickups. What do you got?
Nothing. I am
war chesting
from Montreal. Bonjour. Parlez-vous anglais? Merci.
Wow, look at you. Well, I went a little nutso the other night. So, well, first of all, my card post has been heating up for me lately. It's been a ton of fun. So I did another trade. I traded not a lot, but a lot of a few cards led by a Draisaitl orange checkers from 2022-23 OPG Platinum for Troy. Speaking of Hank. For this 2015-16 OPG Platinum Henrik Lundqvist retro gold rainbow out of 149 PSA 10. So as you know, this is a set I've been preoccupied with.
Did you buy the one you sent me?
No, I know. You should buy it because it's really cheap.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it and I was like, oh, I just thought you were going to buy it and you just wanted to rub it in or something.
No. Trying to help you out, man. So what do you think of this card? You like it?
Oh, yeah. That's a great picture. Hank almost going down into an RVH, which he despises. Despises the RVH, but he's almost doing one.
Now, I've declared that I'm technically going to build a set of retired and legends from the checklist, and this is not one of those because he was still playing. It's the first 20 that are the retired and legends. And this is 54. But I couldn't resist it because the card was so cool. And
so in your set building, are you going to mix graded and ungraded, or are you going for only graded?
1 through 20, all PSA 10.
Okay.
I'm going bougie on the whole bit.
Okay.
Then I did another My Card Post trade. A Red Wings collector found a few cards on my MPC My Card Post store. And I really love to, like, if I'm going to trade cards, knowing that like somebody's really going to appreciate them and like a fan of a team or something like that, that makes me feel good. So I traded a couple Red Wings cards and I got 2 in exchange. A 2020 Artifacts Kaprizov Tribute Redemption out of 750. I already have a few of these, but I love it. And so I'm a hoarder.
This is Pekka Rinne's rookie card, basically.
Oh, yeah. You have that, right?
Yeah. I think I got 3 of them. And that's totally by mistake. Like I bought them, forgot I had them. One of those kind of dumb things.
Then he had a 2023 Tim Hortons Greatest Duos Gretzky and Ovechkin bounded by Honor, and Honor spelled in Canada with the extra U. 800 goals insert. I just thought this was a cool card. Now, this bounded by Honor set in the Tim Hortons Greatest Duels, there's 5 cards in the set where they have 2 players that are bounded together by significant achievement. In the case of Gretzky and Ovechkin, it's 800 goals. Pretty tough pack odds. So like to get any of the 5 is 1 in 100 packs. So this would be 1 in 500 packs. So I don't know. I just thought it was cool.
I was hoping you were going to say they are bounded by Honor. I just keep it going.
Like the sands of the hourglass, they're bounded by Honor. Yeah, then I had more. So I'm apparently now a 2015 OBG Platinum Retro Rainbow Gold addict. I bought this Ovechkin Retro Rainbow Gold out of 149 PSA 10. Once again, not a retired player. So how am I doing?
Is that purple? If that's purple, I love it.
It is purple. I don't have it yet, but I like these cards. I just really do. So I had to pick this one. Then there became a point where I lost complete control, and I bought a raw Bobby Hall. So now a couple of these I might grade. So this is ComC. See what ComC does? The ComC scanner to these cards.
I know. Every time they're dull and their logo thing.
So this is one of the 20. It's number 13. So if it's good, I might grade it myself. And then keeping along the theme, I got a Doug Waite, which is another one of he was retired by then. So I decided it looked like a sharp copy. And then on the accessory side, because it Phil the Loud Collector, follow him on Instagram, he did a video review of a top loader binder, and I had to get one of those too. Yeah, you did a picture.
I found it.
I really like it. Like I filled out a couple pages. So
I want to get one now. I want to get one, but I don't know what I'd put in it. That's what I'm struggling with.
Well, top loaders.
Well, I understand that, but what cards would I put in there?
It was $40 with shipping. So really
would it be like my North Stars book, my Wild book, or would I do something else?
I don't know. So again, My Card Post for the win. Go ahead, check them out. If you're not trading on My Card Post, you're missing out. And then I'm completely lost all control over 2015 Platinum Gold Rainbows. So that's my life. Probably my biggest like quantity of personal pickups ever on a show.
Nice.
All right, Trey, I want to go watch hockey and basketball.
All right.
So that's it for us. A pretty short show for us, actually. What, hour 40 minutes, something like that? If you like the episode, please leave a rating and review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you love the show, you want to support us, want to chat with us on the Hockey Cards Gongshow Discord server, please consider a $5 a month donation. Join our $1.99 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description with our Instagram profile. Or search for Hockey Cards Gongshow on Patreon's website, Patreon. Go to our website, Hockey Cards Gongshow. Click on the Become a Patron link. Just you'll find it if you want. We're on social media. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And Troy, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast is a production of Dollar Box Ventures LLC. Enjoy the NHL playoffs, and we will be back with you on Monday. I guess celebrate Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S.